Hi everybody, Edward Builder here. We're back with another one. It's Saturday night for your late night stimulus plan update for Saturday, October the 17th. There's a lot of things going to be happening next week, and I don't want you to miss out on any of these details. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. I want to get straight to the details on this for you. But if you guys stay to the end of this video, I have a giveaway I want to tell you about. All right. So remember, like, subscribe, and join the channel. Mitch McConnell, Senate Majority Leader, he is going to attempt to push this skinny bill through, this $500 billion skinny bill through. We're gonna talk about why they're not looking at the $1.8 trillion, why they're trying to kind of force their way out of that $1.8 trillion. We're gonna take a look inside the bill. We're gonna see what's inside of it. And I just want to lay out this timeline for you guys real quick here. Next Tuesday, the Senate will vote on a PPP. It's a standalone bill number 1. And the rest of the package will be voted on Wednesday, standalone bill number 2. We're also going to touch on the virus, some virus updates. But with Donald Trump saying go bigger, okay, Mitch McConnell, I think he's getting a little agitated. All right, I think so. I think he is trying to rally the Senate to not back Donald Trump, President Trump. Mitch McConnell, he released a schedule claiming that Nancy Pelosi has wasted months playing political games with the health and the financial securities of the American people. Republicans have tried numerous times to secure a bipartisan agreement where possible and get aid out door while these endless talks are continuing. He states, Nancy Pelosi keeps saying she feels nothing is better than something. Okay. Now, I could agree that President Trump has also said that Nancy believes that this is going to help her political game, that if she does nothing right now and keeps holding out, that this is going to help her win in some way. But really, it's just irritating the people, right? We the people, we're just tired of this, okay? And we really want to see we need to see our stimulus checks. There's people unemployed. People truly need the funds right now. So Mitch McConnell will attempt to push this skinny bill through. Now it's this nearly the identical skinny bill as we talked about before. We'll take a look inside of here in just a moment. But he's trying to push the skinny bill through here, barring any Democratic obstruction. Next week, the Senate Republicans will move to break the logjam. That's what they're saying. Let's take a look inside this bill. Now, Tuesday again, we're going to look at the PPP will be up for a vote. On Wednesday is the rest of the package, and this more than likely is going to include a $300 unemployment assistance, not a $600 unemployment assistance. Funds for schools, funds for testing, funds for tracing, liabilities protections, which I want to talk about a little bit more seriously here. Not a lot of people are talking about liabilities protections here and what that really means to us, okay? No stimulus checks are in this bill. No stimulus checks. So liabilities protections, what does that mean to us, okay? It's a little bit scary to think about. Because here's what could happen. I'm just going to lay a scenario out to you, okay? Right now, you know, your boss could say to you, come into work. And you say, you know, and I'm afraid of that thing out there. I'm afraid of the whole virus thing. I don't want to catch it. Right? So I need to collect unemployment right now. If they pass the liabilities protections, your boss can now say, well, I need you to come back to work. So you either come back to work or I'm going to find somebody else who's going to come back to work. Meaning we're going to let you go, right? So you say to yourself, well, okay, I have to go back to work. You know, right now there's no boost of the unemployment assistance. I have to go back to work. So you go back to work. Liabilities protections are in place through legislation, and you catch this thing, okay? You catch this virus, and you know your boss kind of forced your hand to go back to work with the fear of you could lose your job. You catch the virus, you can't sue him. You can't sue your employer. You can't go into a restaurant, catch the thing, and sue them for not having PPP on their waitresses or their wait staff. Can't sue anybody over this thing, right? So the liabilities protections are really being put in to protect the companies, the bigger corporations, and not so much the American people. All right, enough on that. Think about it. Think about it clearly. I wouldn't want to see liabilities protection in any bill. Just throwing that out there. Okay. All right. So Nancy Pelosi. Let's talk about the $1.8 trillion deal that's out there, right? So Nancy Pelosi, she does not want to do the little stuff. Okay. She understands that this whole thing is time sensitive, right? We know that unemployment's run out. You can't get the boost any longer. PPP, that's expired. EIDL's out there, but nobody's really applying for EIDL. And they made it too complicated. So right now the Democrats have a lot of leverage, right? They have this 2.4 trillion dollar stimulus package, and they're saying this thing's ready. This is ready to be signed. Let's go. Let's get this thing signed. They've got leverage in saying if we hold out long enough, the people are going to get so agitated, and it's coming up on the election. You may have to be forced to take our package, right? On the same side, the administration also understands this. And so, President Donald Trump has gone and sent Steve Mnuchin in to negotiate this 1.8 deal, right? And if you recall, just a few days ago, if you've been watching my channel, I identified $700 billion just from watching, Fox News and watching them all speak on these funds. I've identified $700 billion that is sitting unspent from the CARES Act. It's money that's sitting there, hasn't been spent yet. It's allocated to things. And just through legislation, just through a simple legislation, they can move that money and allocate it to something else. Everybody knows this, right? Nancy knows this. President Trump knows this. Mitch McConnell knows this. That's why Mitch McConnell is pushing for his $500 billion, because he wants to take up $500 billion of that $700 billion. Right? So he sees the money sitting there and he wants it for his plan. Well, the good thing is, okay, we could still see an executive order, right? So there's $700 billion sitting out there. Donald Trump is a little bit behind in the polls, okay? There's talks that Biden is up double digits at the moment. And so Donald Trump, by way of executive order, he can just go out and grab that $700 billion and say, everybody, you're all getting 2 rounds of stimulus checks, right? He could do that 2 days before the election. By executive order, I want to reallocate that $700 billion and I want to send out 2 rounds of stimulus checks. Wouldn't that be awesome? So I think there's going to be a big moment on the horizon. I don't think we're going to get a bill passed. I don't think the skinny bill is going to get passed. They're after the $700 billion. I don't think the 2.4 is going to get passed. I think in reality, we have delayed this so long, and we see that the virus is back on the rise. So there could be some more lockdowns that could occur. I think 2.2, and 2.4 is too low at this point. I think we should be looking more at a 3.0, 4.0 trillion dollar bill at this point. Primarily because by the time this is all over with, we could be into 2021, 2022, start this whole cycle over again and have to go through this, trying to get more legislation passed. I think the best move for the American people at this point is by way of executive order. The president needs to act upon that $700 billion that's sitting there, and he needs to move it into a stimulus plan for us. He needs to move it into stimulus checks and get it out to the American people. He needs to move it into unemployment insurance, get it out to the American people. We're 17 days out from the election. All right. Former Assistant Secretary of the Treasury spoke out on a lame duck legislation. He feels that if we do not get a stimulus check issued, and this is what I was just talking about, if he feels that if we don't get a stimulus check out, and he was in the seat for 2 terms, right? That we may not see one until February or March of next year. It's called this lame duck legislation. And it kind of lines up with what I just said. We're heading into the winter. Cases of the virus are climbing. We're at 70,000 today, 909 new deaths. We're heading into a $3 trillion package at this point. So ask yourself, Do you want to see a 2.4 or do you want to see a 3 trillion? I think at this point we should be, by way of executive order, take that $700 billion, get a stimulus check out to the American people, and then work out the rest after the election. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me drop some comments down below. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you guys agree with me, disagree with me. Let's get this conversation going, right? Okay. As I mentioned, the virus, 70,000 new cases, 909 new deaths. On a previous video, I talked about the medical community speaking out, and they believe that this is related to the winter coming, and people are letting their guards down. People are truly letting their guards down. The restriction, it's exhaustion, right? We don't want to wear masks in public. People are tired of all this mask all the time, and it's kind of scary. I could speak to a personal friend of mine who is a manager at a restaurant who asked an individual to put a mask on. Said, I'm sorry, the governor requires a mask to be worn, and I need you to put a mask on. And this person struck the manager in the face. Unbelievable. So guys, let's get along. We're all in this together. I know we're exhausted of this whole pandemic. Let's just remember we're all people, okay? And we're just trying to look out for the greater good for everybody. So keep that all in mind, all right? So that has been your late night stimulus check update for Saturday, October the 17th. If you guys like the way I laid this out for you, consider becoming a subscriber. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you stuck around to the end, I have a giveaway, all right? I'm actually giving $100 every time I hit 1,000 new subscribers. I am selecting one lucky comment of my subscribers to give an individual $100 to, all right? So all you got to do to qualify is you have to be a subscriber, give me a comment, drop a thumbs up somewhere, and I'm selecting every time I hit 1,000 new subscribers, one lucky subscriber to give $100 to. I think it's probably one of the better giveaways out there on YouTube right now, because every time the 999 goes to another 000, you guys get $100. So guys, thank you guys so much for joining me for another video of Ask Builder. I love you guys. You guys have been a great community. Continue to leave me your comments down below. I check them all. I answer them all. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.